everybody, and welcome. My name is Gretchen Hidell, and I'm here talking today about love questions. Venus is retrograde right now, and quite honestly, I live in the New England area, and we just got a ginormous snowstorm. So I'm thinking I would just do a quick Facebook Live, and as people join, they are welcome to answer any questions that they may have about love. Love in astrology is a really complex, just as in life, really. Love is a complex thing. Basically, we attract people for various reasons, not just the astrology, although, oh my goodness, I am asked all the time, what is my most compatible sign? And of course, there's more than just the sun sign in an astrological chart. In fact, there's many signs in an astrology chart that denote compatibility. Of course, one of those things in an astrological chart that is compatible, that helps to figure out compatibility, is your sun sign. So sun signs are basically the sign that you are born under, and most people know their sun sign. So when you say I'm a Libra or I'm a Leo or I'm a Cancer, that basically we're talking about sun signs. And so that's one sign that basically can help you. And by the way, if you're just joining, welcome. You can also share this to your page. If you hit that little share button down there, you can share this to your page, and your friends will know that I am live and can join in on the conversation and the fun. So we're having a snow day here, and basically it's one of those things that more than just your sun sign, astrologically speaking, we have your moon sign, you have your Venus sign, you have your rising sign, you have all different kinds of signs that basically make up your astrological chart. And so I call in astrology the big three, basically what I call astrology is the big three: the sun, the moon, and the rising sign. The sun sign is, again, what sign you were born, your sun was born under, and then you have your moon sign, which is what sign the moon was in at the day you were born. And then also there's your rising sign, which is what time you were born. The rising sign is actually not a planet. It was what was on the horizon at the time that you were born. So that's your rising sign. Your rising sign is how you outwardly appear to other people. So it's like, I always say, it's like your front door. And hello everybody, welcome, thank you for joining, and please feel free to share this on your Facebook page, and other people will join as well. So your rising sign is what is your front door. It's really how you publicly are perceived, and that's based on your time of birth. And then you have your moon sign, which is how you feel secretly on the inside. It's your secret side, your private side, and your emotional side. And so that's like kind of the hidden part of your personality. Now, we have so many different signs, in our charts. And so Venus sign is how you feel sensuously, romantically. Venus is your sensuality, and so that's important. And your Mars is important too, which is how you feel sexually. So that's kind of a fun thing. And so all of these signs really figure out kind of who we're compatible with and who draws us in. I think it's really interesting because when I work with clients, a lot of times they will have signs that are sort of predominantly the ones that do the picking, the romantic picking, I mean. And so that's kind of an interesting thing. For instance, I tend to pick signs that are compatible with my moon. But that's tricky because if they're not compatible with your sun or other signs in your chart, you're picking the wrong partner. Uh-oh. So it's really interesting how that often happens. I often will see a pattern with people who are sort of picking the wrong mate or the wrong partner because they're choosing with just like sort of emotionally with one sign versus another. And so this gets a little complicated, and of course you'd have to know your own astrological chart in order to sort of know that feeling and that vibration. And it always helps when you work with a professional astrologer in order to figure out those nuances. But what drives us and what helps us? Well, it's interesting because like energy attracts like energy, really. And so sometimes when we do the picking, might have been a long time ago, and we pick somebody based on certain things. And so our energy usually is fairly similar. It's never exactly the same, but it usually is very similar when we pick a partner. And sometimes when we picked a partner, I can even go back in my own personal life and say, you know, that partner wasn't right, but also in that time, I was this way. So let's say you were depressed when you picked your partner, or you were feeling down and out, or you were feeling whatever. Your partner might be that type of person. And so we tend to pick people who are like, same, energetically same. It's really all well and good if you like, oh, I like this movie and you like this movie, and we're sort of matchy. But when it comes to our energy levels should be somewhat similar. Otherwise, what happens is we're kind of, you know, like this, and then it doesn't really quite work very well. We're always, the person who's up here is always trying to come down here, and the person who's down here is always trying to come up here. And welcome everybody, people who are joining. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to share this on your Facebook page, by the way, because that will help our audience to grow. And for sure, if you have any questions about this subject or any other subject really, and you'd like to just ask me a question, feel free to post it here. So when our energy is a little mismatchy, let me pose this question to you. Did you ever have a person or a friend that you had to really be kind of in the mood to be around? Let's say you knew you had to go out to lunch with this person, or you were going to see them, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, I gotta see so-and-so, and I don't know, I'm kind of dreading it. That means that, yes, this person you could say is annoying or whatever, but I would actually say that your energies are a little mismatched. And because of that, you have to make a lot of adjustments to your energetic level. And you can do that on a very short-term basis. You can sort of make those energy adjustments. You can kind of slow it down or speed it up or whatever you have to do energetically to be around that person for, let's say, that lunch date. And it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 hour period of time, short time. You can do that for a short time. That's partner. And we are, you know, kind of with them. If their energetic levels are sort of really off from us, that can be difficult. You know, that can be quite hard to sort of maintain that, whether you're, but if you're the one that's up here, you have to kind of really come down to match your partner. Whereas if your partner's down here, most partners will try a little bit even to come up here. But what happens if they're here and they're kind of standing on their tippy toes to be up a little higher? If you've ever tried to stand on your tippy toes for any period of time, like longer than 5 minutes, 10 minutes, oh my gosh, your calves are going to be killing you. And so that's one of those things that that it's really important energetically to pick, you know, obviously a good partner. And also to work, when we say that relationships are work, I actually don't feel that relationships should be that much work. I think that relationships should be, you know, a good match to begin with. The work is sort of this, staying somewhat energetically matched up. which can be very difficult. Let's say if your partner all of a sudden becomes an addict. I mean, that could be really difficult. Obviously, you don't want to even match that type of situation. And so how do you match that and whatever? And so these become bigger, even life lessons and things that we have to sort of deal with when we're looking at you know, what makes an ideal partnership. Let's say your partner loses their job, but they've been employed for a really long time, and they've been good at providing or good at bringing home, you know, some income and contributing to households. What if all of a sudden your partner wants to lose a lot of weight? I mean, all these things can happen where it can literally shift and change our energy. And so when we're looking at staying in an energetic sort of vibration, that's something that we have to sort of practice at and learn. I haven't seen any questions yet, but one of the biggest questions that I have encountered is, can I change him or her? Oh my goodness. Well, the answer is tricky. The answer is actually yes. A lot of people are like, oh no, that's not right. We've read everywhere that you cannot change a person. Well, actually, you kind of can, energetically. And I would say change is a rather big word, and I want to define how I define that. Change is where one person's here, one person's here, and somebody will say, can I change him or can I change her? The answer is yes. Do you see what just happened? Yes. So in order for change to happen, two people have to be sort of willing to kind of meet each other somewhat in the middle. But that means that one person does this while another person is really reaching up. Oftentimes what will happen if there is the partners are to break up is the default levels will kind of go back, you know, to their normal default, whatever their default energy is. And so that's quite tricky, you know. And people will often come to me and they'll say, oh my goodness, you won't believe we broke up, and he just went right back to what his old habits were. She just went right back to doing everything she was doing before we were together. All the progress we made together was lost. They were trying to match you, and you were trying to match them. That's what two people do when they love each other, is they try to match each other. So in astrology, getting back to that, really good astrological alignments with your sun, your moon, or your rising sign are, oh my goodness, so helpful. Especially when they're in the same sign, because again, we get same, and you're already energetically there, same. So that can be a good thing. And that's helpful. So Carl Jung, the great astrologer, and yes, he was an astrologer. He's the psychiatrist, very well known, obviously, but he was also an astrologer, and a lot of people don't know that. And so he did a study where somebody's sun sign, I have a rabbit making noise behind me, somebody's sun sign being in the same sign as their partner's moon sign is actually one of the most beneficial astrological placements that two people can have. So the partner's sun being in the same as the moon, and it's better, if we're talking about a heterosexual relationship, it's better for the man's sun to be in the woman's moon, to be matching that. Those partnerships, the sun-moon partnerships, oh my goodness, they're like magnets. You can almost not even avoid them. It's really, really hard, but it's also very hard to break apart. So I always say, oh my god, you know, just be careful when you're starting to date your sun-moon combo, because even if they're not the right match for you, you'll want to merge and you'll want to be, you know, with that partner. By the way, hello, if you're just joining us, please feel free to share this to your Facebook page, because then we'll get some more questions or traffic, and feel free to post a question at the bottom. So the sun and the moon, Carl Jung did a study. He was an astrological researcher as well as an astrologer. He did a study where he found that the sun-moon combo is one of the most potent combos for people who get married. Okay, so that's a really powerful, sun-moon is very powerful. Natalie Wood, and I cannot remember the man's name that she was with, and maybe you guys could help me here. She was the one that was, they don't know if she was murdered or she fell off the boat. Her and that fellow had actually matching sun moon, his sun her moon, her sun his moon, so it was like literally like a crisscross, and they had a very fated, very complex relationship. So sometimes this complexity, like I said, isn't always great. You know, sometimes it's just being complex and it's just joining us and making us merge together. So those things. Also, if you have any Venus aspects together with your partner, that can be helpful too. If you are let's say a fire sign or a water sign or an earth sign or whatever, having a partner that has fire, or having a partner that has earth, or having a partner who matches your element. I see in astrology all the time now, people picking partners that are not their element, that they're lacking in that element. So let's say they lack in earth. Earth is practicality. So let's say they lack in earth, then they all of a sudden pick a partner who is an earth sign, but they don't have that much in common, and they're always like, oh, they always get so caught up on the details. They're so practical, and why don't they just go with the flow? I find that to be so annoying. But it's what we need. Our soul needs that in order for us to be able to function. So it's kind of an interesting thing where we'll often, life lesson, you know, is for us to learn that, to learn the practicality because we're missing it in our chart. And then so we pick a partner who is external from us, who possesses that element, if that makes any sense to you guys. And so our soul learns it, but that type of relationship tends to be a relationship where it's like annoying, you know, the person's gets on their nerves, you know, oh, why are they always so impetuous? But they're supposed to be learning to be more impetuous. But the partner is more extreme than they are, and so they find it to be rough or irritating or something. So anyway, so I hope that helps. We're talking about Venus retrograde, Venus life lessons. I'm doing Facebook Live right now from my astrology page. I had heard that Facebook Live on my personal page, if you weren't friends with me, you weren't able to look at it or view it or see it or something. So basically, I thought I would try this as an experiment. I'm not getting as many viewers, so I'm going to sign off unless if you guys have any questions. I'm going to make this into a video so you can watch it again from the beginning. And so remember, Venus retrograde in Aries, Venus retrograde is all about learning lessons in love. And it's about us really focusing on those love lessons, focusing on what makes us happy, what are we looking for in relationships, is our partner kind of fulfilling our needs, or what are our needs? You know, I mean, a lot of us are sort of really questioning that. If you're single, you're questioning what kind of person is more of your ideal person. If you're in a partner, you're questioning, oh, what's the deal with my partner? Like, am I happy? Am I not? Is he or her making me happy? You know, it's all those types of life lessons. That's basically what the deal is with Venus retrograde. So we're really looking and analyzing love right now. I'm talking a lot in my sessions with my clients about love right now. This, like, the hot topic is love. And everybody's going, I don't know why all of a sudden I'm thinking about is this really the right thing? And what am I doing? And, you know, and so that's really, you're supposed to be thinking that. So just go with it. Go with it. What makes you happy? What doesn't? Now, remember, is not the time for action. It's not the time to necessarily dive headfirst into something new. And it's also not the time to say, you know what, I am done with him or her. I'm just done. Because again, that's initiating a breakup. And we're not supposed to be initiating anything. We're just thinking, pondering, reflecting, reanalyzing, reconnecting, reestablishing. We're doing all those foundational things. And also, if you're just joining, I had talked a lot about our energy levels and if our energy levels are matching or not matching. So analyzing about where is our energy? Sometimes, especially if we've been in a long-term relationship, we have plateaus and we get bored and we kind of feel a little bit uninspired by our partner. All of a sudden it's like same, you know, every day, and it's like, oh my God, I got to see you again. And so it's, how do you fall in love with your partner? And also, how do you fall in love with yourself? That's the big thing with Venus retrograde, is because love originates from inside. We are taught, especially as women, that we're gonna, you know, have this inspirational, like, you know, person that's gonna come along and save us and inspire us. Really, it comes from inside, and we're not at all taught that. There's no romance novel in this world that is written about that. It's always about, they're going to whisk you off and you're going to be in this fairy tale wonderland thing, and it's complete bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. It's just total bullshit. We have to inspire ourselves, and we have to learn about what works within us, and how we can fall in love with us, and how we can be happy with us. Then we can go off and love others. Lots of others if we choose to, you know? I mean, it doesn't have to even be romantic. It can just be, it can be children, and it can be animals, and it can be friends and neighbors and all sorts of things. But if it doesn't come from within first, this is the foundational energy, then the rest of it is you know, not the deal. So anyway, I would be happy to talk with you about your personal birth chart. I do private consultations, private sessions. I also do NLP life coaching, hypnosis. I'm a Reiki master, and I'm a non-denominational ordained minister. So I marry people. Talking about love. I love to marry people. Recommitment ceremonies, house blessings, all kinds of things like that. I love to be a part of. It was funny, like I've had actually clients that I've married where it was like, you're gonna meet somebody, and then they met somebody, and I'm like, you're gonna move in together, and they moved in. You're gonna get engaged, and then they got engaged, and it was really, I feel so blessed, you know, being able to be a part of somebody's journey like that. So for me, marrying people became just an evolution of that cycle. Plus, in my own birth chart, I have the north node of my moon and Venus conjunct in my 7th house of marriage. So north node of your moon, if you're an astrology person, is what you are meant to do in this lifetime. So how fun is that? I'm supposed to be love, spreading the love. And I hope that I do. I hope that I help people with that. And also connecting to their love, their passion, and really what drives them and makes them happy. And so helping to marry people and helping people to celebrate that day is a really cool thing. And I will just, bragging rights, I have 0 divorces so far. Out of all the people I've married, no divorces, thankfully. And hopefully that would be, I've had people jokingly say, you should put that on your business card, no divorces. Hey, that's pretty cool. So yeah, we're going to get into wedding season, even though right now we're completely snowed in. Most of us on the in the northeast here of the country of US are snowed in. But yeah, wedding season's coming. So if you're thinking of having a person marry you this summer, or you know somebody, let me know, because I do book those out quite in advance. So yeah, so unless if you have any questions, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it, as always. And remember, those love lessons are where we're at right now. Think about your energy, your partner's energy. Think about really what drives you. Are you behaving in a way that's, you know, down and not up? And so all those things, I always think we can always just sort of tweak things and improve them and step up a little bit our energy, and how are we in love with ourselves? Anyway, take care. Thank you. Blessings. Enjoy the rest of the day.